Hello, hello, and welcome, beautiful badass, to episode number 31 of the Magic is in You podcast. You are joining me here for my morning cup of tea, of yerba mate. It's my absolute favorite. And I have a little story to share from this morning with you. This morning, I woke up and I just made myself my tea, drank some water, and I hopped on my little like stationary bike that I have. And I started doing a little bit of journaling with some journal prompts and via my stationary bike. So I used like the voice command thing on my computer where it dictated and like wrote down um what I was saying. And it just like set me in this really like good high vibe right away. I got my body moving. I set my intentions for the day through this kind of like journaling voice practice. And then I was walking into one of my bedrooms or my bedroom with my cup of tea and just like gazing out at the mountain. The sun was kind of starting to peek from behind the clouds. We've had a few days of clouds, and so the sun was starting to kind of peek from behind the clouds, and I just allowed myself to like linger there for a moment, gazing out over the mountains, over this beautiful place that I get to call home. With my mate in my hand, and just had this big smile on my face, feeling like I was really just in the moment and allowing myself to be fully present, and just had so much gratitude for that moment, feeling the vibes, feeling good for moving my body first thing, feeling good for connecting with myself and journaling and reflecting. Journaling and journal prompts have been something that have profoundly empowered me and impacted my life, which is funny because I never would have guessed that back in the day, not being a like student or a writer or reader kind of girl. Anyway, I was just standing there in so much gratitude with my hot cup of tea in my hand and the sun almost from behind the clouds in the mountains and the little bit of snow that we still have on the ground. And then just like excited for growth and expansion and this new energy as we come into 2026, this new year, and feeling solid in myself. The last few years have been wild, crazy growth in all sorts of different ways with my metal fabrication business that I do with my husband, Creative Combinations Montana, where we're making epic steel art, custom metal work, custom furniture for wonderful folks around our local area, as well as selling our metal art across the country. Holy smokes. I never thought I would be a metal artist, but here we are. Accidentally became a metal artist. I actually just wrote a blog post. If you're interested, you can go to my website over on my life blog. There's a good story about that. Anyway, back to it. The last few years have been like crazy growth from growing CCMT, Creative Combinations Montana, growing or like creating Inspiration Cabin, doing a renovation on a two-car garage, something that we had never fucking done before. And then also growing and expanding into my new career as a life coach using embodiment, somatic practices, nervous system, calming regulation practices, as well as subconscious reprogramming. It's been a lot and it's been an incredible adventure. And sometimes it's easy to get like caught up in the not there yet without really giving ourselves credit for what we've already done, the roots that we've already grown deep into the earth, deep within ourselves, the trust that we've built ourselves. And so this morning I was just sitting in so much gratitude for my past self for like continuing to grow, continuing to expand. And for doing hard things, uncomfortable things, scary things, brave as fuck things. And as I was sitting there looking out over these beautiful snowy mountains that I'm gazing at right now, I was just in so much gratitude. And as I was sitting there in this lingering smile, allowing myself to be in this lingering like gratitude, this moment of gratitude rather than rushing it, being present with myself, being present with this feeling, this expansion as I was able to elevate my frequency, literally raising my vibration and elevating my own energy on purpose, with intention. In comes this beautiful, soaring in comes this beautiful pheasant. And I don't know if you have pheasants around you, but they are kind of, I guess you would almost consider them like a poultry bird. They're a little bit smaller than a turkey, but they've got these beautiful long tails and this coloring of red and green and white on them. And they like make this kind of abrupt noise. It almost sounds like a rooster style noise. They're very fun to watch. And we have had a pheasant kind of around the property for the last few months, and it's been so much fun. But recently, we have had a second pheasant join this one pheasant. And so this one pheasant comes in and lands, and I see him land in his like usual spot. They're digging for food and stuff underneath the trees here. And then a moment later, another one came soaring in and just like was eating basically right in front of me, just beyond my garden. And I was just sitting there, like laughing and smiling to myself with so much gratitude. Something that I have done for a number of years now is oh my God, there he goes again. He literally just flew by. I love it. So something I've done for the last few years now is actually when I have animals that I don't see all the time, like pheasants. We've lived on this property for 4 years, and it's just been in the last few months that they've started to kind of come around. I really hadn't seen them a lot over the last few years. And like I said, in the last few months, they've started coming around. So, something I have done for a number of years now, when I see animals that I don't see daily, that I see like, yeah, that just like pop up out of what feels like the blue or what feels like alignment. I oftentimes look up the shamanic meaning or the energetic meaning behind this animal, like the spirit animal energy, essentially. Back when I was in my yoga teacher training, excuse me, in 2017, one of my instructors asked me, I've got these two really sweet little geckos on my forearm tattooed. And one of my yoga instructors asked me if I had ever looked up the shamanic meaning of a lizard or a gecko specifically. And after I had had this tattoo for a couple years, it was inspired by a couple of geckos that I saw in a classroom while I was in massage school in Costa Rica. They were just sitting here nestled nose to nose. I don't know if you probably can't see it. I'll post a picture of my tattoo later. Anyway, they were nestled in almost this yin and yang style coziness. And so I looked up the meaning and it was really fun. And I've started doing that ever since that conversation back in 2017 as a yoga teacher. And so I've done that with pheasants. And it's kind of fun because pheasants represent good fortune, prosperity, beauty, power, cultivating your creative energy and tapping into your intuition, which every time I see these pheasants, I feel like I'm in that energy. I feel like I'm in that vibration where I'm connected to my inner empowerment, where I'm connected to my intuition, where I'm connected to myself, and I feel in that high vibration. That's when I see these pheasants, and I'm pretty fucking aware. I love watching the animals on our property, and here in Northwest Montana, I'm always looking for animals because they're around all the time. Elk, eagles, pheasants, even seeing bears is like pretty somewhat regular moose. And so I always have an eye out for these animals. And it's so fun to recognize that I typically see pheasants when I am in this high vibration. And it's just feels like a little wink from the universe almost, knowing that when I allow myself to tap into my magic first thing in the morning, that's my favorite time to do it. When I allow myself to tap into my magic, the energy is tangible, it's palpable, it's showing up in all sorts of ways to show me that I am in that magic. And it's something that we get to do intentionally, right? Like, yeah, we get to intentionally cultivate our magic, our empowerment, our light within ourselves. We get to intentionally be inspired. We get to intentionally connect with ourselves, grow our self trust, grow our self love, grow our self empowerment. Because without this intention, there is no direction, right? If we aren't intentionally going somewhere, we're just on autopilot. And if we're not intentionally going or growing in the direction that we desire to grow or desire to go, then stuck here in this autopilot and we're just going to spin our wheels in the same spot. It's like the stationary bike, right? Like you're moving energy, but you're not actually moving anywhere on a stationary bike. So, with the intention of I'm here moving energy, even though I'm not going somewhere physically in this moment on the stationary bike, I'm still moving energy rather than just being like, oh, I'm just going to sit here and spin my wheels for a couple hours, right? It's the intention, or not a couple hours, fuck that. But it's the intention behind what you decide that really brings the magic. And we get to intentionally tap into our own inner magic because it's in each and every single one of us. You, the magic that you desire to create in your life, in your world, in your impact, in your family, it's already inside of you. When you allow yourself to tune and tap and turn on the magic inside of you, that's where we start to see magic in the world, right? What we create inside is what we see on the outside. The world, people, our business is just a reflection of ourselves on the inside. So if you want things to change in your life, you get to change within first. You get to embody the badass that you know you fucking are. You get to embody your magic. You get to embody your fucking self-trust, confidence. You get to build it and grow it intentionally every single day. So allow yourself to be present. Allow yourself to look for moments of magic. Allow yourself to linger in gratitude. Allow yourself to grow yourself, know yourself, love yourself, trust yourself so that you can truly live this life of impact that you desire, so that you can truly live this life of inspiration that you desire, of abundance that you desire, so that you can grow and this adventure that you have while you have it. Because this life is short. You never know what's going to happen. We were coming back from a walk yesterday and we came on a horrific car accident. We had driven through this canyon to get to a walk, and 45 minutes later, after our walk, we were driving home in this horrific car accident. I hope the person survived, quite frankly, but you just never know. You get to do this today on purpose, with purpose, because your dreams matter, your desires matter, your fucking life matters. Thank you so much for being here. Go do something that allows you to tap into your magic today, that allows you to feel like the badass that you are, that allows you to feel good in your body, that allows you to feel good in this moment, that allows you to bring a little more joy, light into your life. That will naturally elevate your frequency, elevate your energy, which allows a different way of living our life. It's in these tiny daily habits, these tiny daily things that make up our entire life. So go out, be the magical badass that you know that you fucking are. And if you want more empowerment in your body and you want support with that, we just started a 7-week chakra adventure in the embodied empowerment movement, which is my monthly membership where you can tap into your body somatically and embody your inner empowerment, feel good in your body, knowing your body. We get into anatomy because I'm totally an anatomy geek, but I also get deep into the energy. And I just hosted our first root chakra yoga practice yesterday, and there will be more practices coming out this week, and all the replays are in there. So jump into the embodied empowerment movement. It is just $44 right now a month, and I'm so excited to see you in there. Thank you so much for being here, and in love, light, and so much gratitude. Peace.